So, poetry of World War One by me, Frederick Anderson. The first person we have is Alan Seeger, who was born in New York in 1888 and died in 1916. And the poem that he has wrote and I have read is Rendezvous. And we can see in Rendezvous that it's like the details, the poet's impending meeting with the death, and previewing his own fear that he may die soon during his service in World War One. So we can see, and this I have a rendezvous with death. Um, he's trying, he's maybe trying to convince himself that it's a good idea, and we can also see that enclose my eyes and quench my breath. He may kill me. It may be he shall take my hand. He may die. So all in all, we can see previewing his own fear that he may die soon during his time and his service at World War One. Yeah, and I to my pledged word I am true, that he will keep his promise, and I shall not fail that rendezvous. So if we look at that rendezvous with death, that he may die, and he will not fail that rendezvous that he has. Yeah. The next person is Rupert Brooke, who is born in Rugby in 1887 and died in 1915. And the poem that he has read, and I have read, is The Soldier. It's called The Soldier, and we can see in this poem the first quadrant has A B A B and C D C D rhymes, and in the second quadrant it's a little bit different. It's A B C A B C. And when we look on the structure of this poem, it's 14 lines that is very similar to this. It is similar to the Shakespearean sonnets, because they have 14 lines. The sonnets that he have read, that Shakespeare has wrote. The person in this poem who is speaking is a soldier who is on the battlefield declaring his love to England, and the atmosphere in this poem is loving. The imagery that Brooke used is a body of England breathing English air, washed by the rivers, blessed by sons of home, which you can see in the poem that he really loves England. And in this, he uses the semicolons in the poems to tie together all the sentences to make it no, just semicolons to tie it all together. The next person is Wilfred Owen, who has wrote the poem Dolce et Decorum Est. He was born in Oswestry in 1893 and died in 1918. He got shell shock, which is post-traumatic stress. That is why he ended up in Cracklockhart, which is a military hospital. So this poem is filled with memories of war that makes it very dark and gloomy atmosphere. Oh, sorry. And the meaning of the letters, this Latin phrase in the end, Dolce et decorum est pro patria mori. He describes being at war and what happened when the person do not get his gas mask on. This message that he sends when you read the poem is that he wants to tell the people who thinks that there is glory in dying for a country, that in reality it is a cruel death. Yeah, and all of the but just that he's describing being at war and what happened when the person do not get his gas mask on. So now I will move on to the next person and the last person, which is Siegfried Sassoon, who was born in Matfield in 1886, died in 1967. Two of the poems he has wrote is Does It Matter and The Hero. So if we look at Does It Matter, the atmosphere of that poem it's like a double atmosphere, both negative when describing the war, and it's also positive describing when he's describing the everyday life. There is a clash between positive and negative. It's like a hopeless atmosphere. The two questions: does it matter? Does the war matter? And in The Hero, it's more negative, describing a lone mother with her son blown to pieces. The sad aspect of only one person caring about his death. Weird. It's weird. First answer where she seems to hold up a facade. Okay, so the message that he sends when you read these two poems is, and Does It Matter, is it actually matters for these people. It makes a big difference for the lives, because losing a leg is not unimportant, even though people are kind. So if you lose a leg, yeah, it does matter. So there's a lot of irony and sarcasm. The Hero, the war also affects the people close to the soldiers. It is not only the soldiers who lose their lives or a part of it. People around them also lose the part the soldier used to fill. And Sassoon uses strong words in The Hero. It's pair rhymes in the first and the last stanza, cross rhymes in the middle, and a lot of adjectives used it to describe things. So, comparison of the poets. So when we have read all these poems by the four persons, we know that the four persons all has experienced the war. And when we read Brooke and Seeger, we can see that they wrote about dying in the field. Sassoon and Owen, if you compare them together, it's like Sassoon and Owen wrote about the negative, the death, the injury, over all things that comes after the war, when the war is over. And Brooke and Seeger wrote about more positive things, like fighting for a country and stuff like that. Yeah, so I think that is it